Welcome to Joy of Pepper. I'm Ronnie, your host, and today we're going to do the FUBAR Fudge Bar, Carolina Reapers. I was just looking at myself here in the video, and this orange vest I'm wearing, I teach high school, and some of the students were roasting me today. Said, hey teacher, you go and save some people from drowning? I said, hey, the nearest ocean's still 2 hours away. What are you doing wearing that life vest? That's fine though, I've always had my own style. Alright, so we're FUBAR, 4-ounce fudge bar containing the Carolina Reapers, dark chocolate fudge infused with Carolina Reapers. I'm going to eat half of it because that'll put it at 2 ounces. That's what I did for the other video when I did the pink mist. And I just don't want to eat 4 ounces of fudge. I don't even like fudge that much, to be honest. Certainly don't dislike it, but you know. Okay. Well, certainly smells like fudge. Let's look at what's in it. Chocolate and all the ingredients that make chocolate. Sweetened condensed milk, butter, and Carolina Reaper. Very straightforward. Ooh, we got a spicy disclaimer here.
Due to the extreme nature of these products, please read blah blah blah. Skipping down, I have been warned and fully understand these products contain extreme heat and should be used and handled responsibly. I do this at my own risk. I understand the potential danger if used or handled irresponsibly. If I give any of these products as a gift, I will make the recipient aware of the potential danger if used or handled irresponsibly.
Ain't Willy's Pete's fault if I'm a dummy, or I let someone else be a dummy. I ain't drunk when I do it. Alright, that's my own paraphrase. I'm going to cut this thing in half. There it is. Let me see if I can get a... You can see here it's got the texture of that vacuum sealed bag. It's very thick. Alright, so I'm gonna take the knife and cut this thing in half, and I'll eat half of it. Fudge is just so laborious, you know. It's never been a huge fan of it. You know, we'd go to the beach as a kid, and you go to those chocolate shops, and they'd have like 50 different kinds of fudge, and you'd eat a small piece, and you'd just be like, I think I'm done. I don't know if I can eat much more of this. And so challenge wise, if I were to eat this whole bar, the heat would be a secondary challenge. The primary challenge for me would be just eating 4 ounces of fudge, a quarter of a pound of fudge. Anyway, you could see how dense it is there. You could tell from the first shot, but let me get it in focus there for you. Alright, so you could see the texture, the density. I mean, it's a dense thing. Alright, so let's go ahead and eat this thing, and we'll see what happens. If you've had fudge, I'm sure it's going to taste like fudge, but I just want to see how this medium interacts with the Carolina Reaper heat. You immediately pick up heat. So that's my answer. It's really good fudge. And it's not as dense as some other ones I've had in the past, non-spicy ones. This is the first spice one I've eaten, but a lot of the fudges you get at these chocolate shops and novelty shops, it's so absolutely just dense. But I think this is a fine fudge. It's easy to eat, and the heat comes on real fast. Thick, dark, and hot. Heat keeps building. You can see it in my eyes. Right, look at terror. Slight panic. Now I'm going to drink a super hot dirty chai, which is coffee with chai. Really open up those capillaries and let all that capsaicin get in. Yeah. It's intense. I can put aside my general dislike of fudge and say this is a good product. I enjoyed it somewhat. I'll eat the other half too later. It's pretty intense. Now I ate 2 ounces of that. Compare that to the pink mist, ounce for ounce. This is hotter. I'd say it's twice as hot. Still building in my throat. And this coffee is so hot, it's just making everything just... Stomach's on fire too. Definitely must be one of their hotter ones. Maybe not their hottest, but it must be one of their top 3 compared to what I've done in research. Alright, so some final thoughts on the FUBAR Fudge Bar. Still got half of it left. I wanted to show this kind of chili confection rubric that I'm developing. This one's specifically for confections, so looking at candies. Alright, so for the FUBAR, this is how I kind of graded it. Some of this is general knowledge, and then as we get further down the list, it gets more into subjectivity. So at the very top, what kind of bar is this? Obviously, according to their own website, WillyPetesChocolates.com, this is a challenge bar. Okay? So this is a challenge bar. You're supposed to eat the whole thing and all that. Alright, so the profile, it is thick. This is not a standard bar like your, your pink mist or whatever. It's not a large bar, which I don't have on the list here, but it's 4 ounces and it's thick. Constitution of it, it's simple. It's extremely simple. In fact, I'll go ahead and show it one more time here on the camera. It's just fudge. It's fudge, and it's got Carolina Reaper powder in it. Now I say powder because usually it's indicated if it's extract, and there's certainly no evidence of flakes and absolutely no evidence of any dehydrated pieces of Carolina Reaper, so it's got to be powder. Alright, texture, I graded this as uniform in texture. I graded it as laborious. It's just not fun. And not for the heat. I'm saying it's not fun to eat. It's just laborious. You're just chewing and chewing and chewing. It is smooth. It melts well enough as you're chewing it, but it doesn't crumble at all. You just keep chewing until it kind of descends into a muddy pool in your mouth and you swallow it. And I graded this as out of tune, which, like I said, starting at the top, more objective, towards the bottom, more subjective. I gave this a rating of out of tune. Now, I get it, it's a challenge bar, so all of my subjective dislikes are just that. For a challenge bar, it's not supposed to be pleasant. You're not supposed to snack on it. You're not supposed to sit down and enjoy it piece by piece with your friends and all that. That's fun, but I just don't think that there's a whole lot going on with it. As far as the taste goes, it's a fine fudge. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. That said, I also didn't say there was much right with it. It's just fudge. Heat. As far as it being a challenge, I feel like the heat level for the challenge is appropriate. It's got Carolina Reapers in it, and you pick it up immediately, like I've already said, and it builds. I certainly felt it a lot in my throat, and it lingers a little while. Didn't have any problems with cramps from it or anything, so it's all well and good. And finally, I'm going to give suggestions here. Now, I know that Willy Pete's does a lot of really, really good products, and they're innovators. They team up with people. They do really, really interesting things. They come up with neat products all the time. I would love for them to take the Fudge Bar and do something new with it, because fudge is a big deal. There are a lot of people that really like fudge. There's a lot of people that probably are repeat customers buying the FUBAR. I don't blame them. I get it. It's not my cup of tea, but I tell you what would be my cup of tea, and likely many other people who are on the fence about fudge. It's if you added something to it. I'm not the first to make this criticism or this suggestion, but it would be perhaps of great benefit to FUBAR's Fudge Bars if they added maybe some peanut brittle, or little pockets of peanut butter chips, or maybe a layer of something on the top of it, enrobe it with some white chocolate, or some crumbled up chocolate sandwich cookie type thing or something. There's just so many things that you could do besides just leaving it very simple. And that's my criticism, is that they certainly could do a little more with this, and perhaps make the Fudge Bar more interesting. If they were to do something like that, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of fudge. I'd absolutely buy it to try it. And I believe that concludes everything I wanted to say about the FUBAR. Like I said, heat was appropriate. The taste was pretty plain. It was a good quality fudge, though. So judging it on that, it gets a pass. So go out and do it. Eat the whole 4 ounces. I only ate half of it. I ate 2 ounces. So this is more of a review than a challenge, but all right, that's good. All right, y'all take it easy. God bless you. I'll see you next time.